Welcome to the Daily HiFi Podcast. We do this every Tuesday, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 Eastern. My name is Chana. With me, as always, we've got Mr. Joe and Toe. What's going on, Joe?
What's going on? How you doing?
I'm great.
All right.
Right. Another Tuesday in the books. We've got Reed Botwright in here. Tim Perry. Hello, all. Marv's in the house. Miss Angela Jude. Hello.
Yeah.
Oof.
All right. Let me see if I can bring up this review. Yeah, what's going on? What's going on?
Happened. A lot happened over the weekend. Yeah, I was in New York, or New Jersey, technically, and was there for the projector shootout, the ultra short throw projector. They're like, oh, here's the TV guy. All the other judges. I'm like, yeah. Like, which one do you like? I'm like, I like that one. They're like, of course, the TV guy would like that one.
Oh, okay.
So that was fun. I also went to a concert like the night before I left. This DJ, I guess it's not a concert. It's kind of like a little DJ party. And that was actually pretty awesome because when I was in Mammoth, I was playing this guy's music like every week.
Mm-hmm.
And so got to see him live for the first time. That was fun. What about you?
Just got done with a few reviews. So the Valerian Pro 2 review.
Mm-hmm.
That's a very popular projector at the moment. So I think there's gonna be a lot of projector talk. You just made a video about Bose buying Macintosh, Sonus Faber, and whoever else. Who else in that group?
Also talked about our Black Friday sale for the toolkit. Use the code BF 2024 because we are your best friend. No, that stands for Black Friday.
All right. Yeah. Cool. All right.
Yeah. So, I also had that Ruark video that went live last week. Yeah. Thursday.
So that was kind of interesting because I was talking to you about, asking you if like they're doing the out of phase stuff.
And they were.
Yeah. I'm actually reviewing some speakers right now. I don't want to say what they are, but it's kind of like not a sound bar. But like similar to like what you'd expect from like Sony, like those wireless systems. And they also do that trick.
Oh, do they?
Yeah, I don't know if I like it. I think most people that don't know would like it, but they wouldn't
notice it. They would just be like, "Hey, there's a lot of sound here."
Well, there's always sound coming out of a speaker, right?
Yeah.
Versus like if you use our toolkit, you could easily like play discrete test tones and say, "What the? Hold on a second, I'm playing out of that. Why is that one playing?"
That's exactly what I did.
Yeah.
Use the toolkit. Even used magic beans to take some quick measurements to find out what's happening in the room.
Yep.
And all that kind of stuff. So no, it's definitely the stuff we're making, we're actually using. Imagine that.
Well, a lot of times we make it because it's something that we need.
Yeah.
All right. So, news today. News is that, FOMO, Stop the FOMO. I don't know if you guys have seen him, but, pretty popular YouTube channel. He messaged me like pretty early. I guess early for me because I wake up late. He says, Mr. Bose, Bose exposed. Because he likes that that was my video that got like, I don't know, 2 million views.
Yeah.
Bose exposed. And Angela came up with that, by the way. So Bose, I guess they swooped up on Macintosh, Sonus Faber, and you made a video about what that could possibly mean.
Yeah, I mean, it's more like speculation. Like some of the comments are great, man.
Mm-hmm.
Bonus, Baburos, Mac and Bose, Bosentosh.
I mean, it's pretty easy to try to figure out why they did that, right?
I would, from a Bose standpoint.
Yeah.
I mean, they want to break into the high end stuff is what I would think.
Well, okay, so they're a business, so let's just keep it very simple. Like
Yeah.
simple as possible is they think that somehow it's going to make them more money.
Sure.
The question is, in what way do they think it's going to make them more money? But at the end of the day, I don't think they're going to do that to lose money for fun. Because they're into hi-fi, none of those things. I think they would do it because they think it's going to be financially beneficial to them. And I don't know that Bose has been doing extremely well as far as like home audio market, right? Like they're mostly, like Bluetooth speakers, headphones, sound bars. They're not really like. I think they stopped production on a lot of the older model speakers. The 301. I just saw the article that you mentioned that they're gonna partner up with Kith to do the 901. I think they're gonna make like 12 of them. 12.
Oh, is that all? Like
12 speakers. Like you can't get it. They just made 12.
Where did that article go? I'm trying to like click on it. It's gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Obviously, they have the money to do it.
Say again?
Obviously, they have the money to do that, and I think the folks at Sonus Faber are making money. I saw a post on LinkedIn where all of them they showed the front of their building at Sonus Faber, and all of them were Maseratis. Like, with that many Maserati, like I guess everybody's pulling in their Maserati.
They're Italian. Sounds
Or
like
maybe
I mean, would it be better if they were all Ferrari, Lamborghini?
Yes, it would be better, but it's still not bad. So they're
it's not a Fiat.
Yeah, somebody's making money over there, or maybe they got bought out by Bose, and maybe the deal went through, and they just announced it now, and that's why everybody has
who knows,
Maserati. But yeah, I think it's gonna end up making. Though they think it's going to make them more money, and maybe it's that they're kind of out of touch with that space. But realistically, where are these guys making most of their money? I don't know. Maybe it's the car audio, right?
It could be. I mean, if you saw my video today, like I had no idea there was Macintosh in car audio, and somebody commented saying Macintosh started in car audio. I was like, really?
That's why Aaron likes it, because he had that Macintosh amp that was like a car audio amp.
Oh, really?
Yeah, huge car audio amp, and it also had those meters. So they were in car audio. You experienced a Jeep?
Yeah. I'm gonna pull up this video real quick. I see the Macintosh. It looks pretty sexy there. Little Macintosh there, and then the trying to change. Yeah, look at that.
Yeah, that's kind of funny though, because that's just on a screen, right?
Yeah, it's on a screen. Yeah,
like anybody could just do that, right?
Yeah,
like that doesn't cost much money, except they have the glowing. Like it's just a display.
Right.
This is funny. Luke Selker says, "What do car brands drive to work? I bet Clips employees drive lifted F-150s to work every day." I don't know. What would you guess?
You mean the speaker brands? What are speaker brands? Because what's funny is I watch a lot of TikTok and Instagram, and it's a lot of I follow a lot of car pages and stuff, like Porsche stuff, and some people are like, what do the Porsche employees drive to work? And only like a quarter of them are actually Porsches, right?
Yeah.
You got the big time salesman. I brought the GT3 RS, of course.
Yeah.
Like the person at the reception desk is like a Toyota or something.
A lot of the people that work at the watch stores, they actually let them borrow a watch for the day. So you see him wearing like the super. I'm like, dude, you don't work here and wear that watch. Like, you don't own that watch,
right?
You know what I mean? Otherwise, you wouldn't be here at the mall. Anyway, back to the audio stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe it's a play for car audio just because Bose, they're in car audio.
Yeah.
Maybe they just want to win more of those.
I've been having downsize and get rid of the Audi. So I was looking at a Honda Pilot, and
Yeah.
they have Bose in there.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, hold on a second. You didn't tell us how the Macintosh sounded in the Jeep.
I mean, it sounded okay.
Okay.
I didn't. We were just We were driving, so it wasn't like it was still, so I can actually hear anything. But I played a couple of tracks on there. It sounded pretty good.
High Finest says, doesn't a parking lot full of Maseratis imply that they charge too much for their speakers? If the cost of the speaker is all in the margins, then I'd say the value proposition is low. Yeah, maybe. There's many ways to make money in business, right? So a Ferrari, you know what it is. You know what you're getting into. It's going to be extremely high price. They're probably making all their money on the margin, but they sell low volume, right?
Right.
I bet like whoever the CEO of Toyota selling Camrys and Corollas, right? Nothing extremely sexy there. They probably have a lower margin, but they're selling a huge volume. I bet that guy is richer than the CEO of Ferrari. Just guessing. Who knows? I could be wrong, but you know what I'm saying, right? There's just various ways to make money. These guys, Sonus Faber is low, high margin, probably low volume.
I mean, you'd be surprised. Like, after I made that video about CES last year when I was at Sonus Faber's, what do you call it? The suite over there at the Wynn, the $750,000 Suprema. You got a Suprema. 2.2 column system, 2 subwoofers, 2 columns. My name is Livio Pucuzzo.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah. Well, I edited that video quite a bit, so I got to hear Livio's accent. Yeah, I saw a bunch of, I started following them, and I saw a bunch of them being made, like with crazy, like forged carbon fiber, like all black, like all kinds of craziness. I'm like, wow, people are actually buying this thing. So, I mean, if you can go for it.
Yeah. Right? Yeah, I don't know. It depends on what you're going for. So I'm not in that price category. I'm not shopping for that sort of stuff. But at the same time, like when I look at the Philharmonic BMR and I see the nice wood, I also like it. I can appreciate it. I'm like, man, that does look nice. So Sonus Faber is kind of the same thing. You look at it, looks great, except extremely expensive. And maybe that's what people who have money want to spend their money on. So
right.
It's all good. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know exactly what it means. They're probably trying to get into more car systems.
I was thinking maybe they want to get into like some Sonus Faber wireless Bluetooth ACN headphones, ANC headphones, maybe. Yeah. Some high-end headphones that do charge them like $2,000-$3,000 or something. I don't know.
Well, I think at a certain point, Sonus Faber is really about design, right? Design and quality materials. If that's what they want for headphones, I guess they can get into that.
Or it's going to be like I was saying, it's just a Franken speaker, right? Like maybe a self-powered Bluetooth speaker with all the cool the working Bluetooth stuff from Bose.
Yeah.
A nice cabinet from Sonus Faber, amplification from Macintosh or something. I don't know.
It could be a distribution type of thing too. So like when Samsung purchased JBL Harman, you see Samsung soundbars, you still see JBL soundbars, right? So they kind of left the companies alone.
Right. Because I mean, I was at Cedia and Samsung didn't have anything over there at the Harman booth.
Yeah.
So like it was just all Arcam. They still have Arcam. They still have JBL. They still have JBL Synthesis. So it didn't seem like they changed anything really.
Maybe they're just getting their lawyers together to have in case they want to litigate, which means just talking.
We learned that earlier this year,
According
like
to
right
Aaron,
before Expona.
litigation.
Where did Aaron go? Why is
uh,
Aaron not here for this?
litigation means friendly conversation. Yeah, you know, because they were known for suing people, but that was a
A long,
whole
long time
joke.
ago.
I don't know, and if anybody else has comments here, and if you have any idea, it's yeah. At the end of the day, does it matter to me? Not really. I'm not a owner of Macintosh or Sonos Faber. I don't really own any Bose stuff, so yeah, yeah.
I mean, I was down to try it. I like there were some Sonos Fabers that sounded good. I mean, they were still like 50,000 a pair. But
Yeah,
I mean,
you would accept some.
oh yeah.
I
I
would
mean, I
accept
can't
something.
even accept those. Those things are huge. Like, you know, I think
Well,
they have like a cheaper line with like
yeah.
bookshelves that are like $1,200 or something like that.
Well, Bose they closed a lot of stores, right? They had a bunch of those
Oh,
stores.
that's right. They used to have stores all over the
Yeah,
place.
they closed a bunch of them, so that's not good. It's not
Yeah.
a good look. But yeah, this is all speculation. But maybe something aside from all this news and speculation. Why don't you tell us about what you did, your trip to New York?
Trip to New York. Okay. Do we need some pictures? Maybe.
Yeah, just make sure that the proper pictures and nothing that you don't want to.
Yeah, no, I know. I know. Let's see here. Okay. I know what we can do here. Oh no, that's the concert. Okay.
You comment.
So
You gotta say
I
pause.
went.
Say nice wood, bro. Nice has nice wood, bro. Pause. Is that how I do it? Okay.
Who has nice wood?
I don't know. The comments. The only wood you're getting is when they bend you over the barrel. Wow. Okay. All right, Aaron.
What are we talking about?
No, no, these are the comments from our audience. So, all right.
Okay.
So this is the UST projector showdown, and it looks like I'm looking at some kind of signage.
Yeah, this is the sign. Yeah. So hosted by projectorscreen.com. And that was a crazy big one. Oh, here we go. Here we go. There's Brian and the crew from projectorscreen.com. And then here's Phil getting some stuff done. All of these are 100-inch 100-inch Fresnel screens.
Okay.
I'm not sure exactly what that means, but they had 8 projectors altogether.
Mhm.
And varying price ranges. Let me see. I think it was like 2,000 all the way up to 6,000 was the most expensive one.
Yeah, I have the article up.
Okay.
Fresnel is just the type of screen where it rejects stuff that's not coming from directly in front of it. It kind of has like a circular pattern. So you remember those old projectors like in school where they would write on the thing?
Oh yeah, the yeah.
Do you ever remember looking at the actual thing and it had like these weird like spiral looking things?
Yeah.
That's a Fresnel lens.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's for
So,
light rejection most of the time.
got it. So this is our little judging sheet. So we had SDR, HDR. Now what the funny part was, Phil was like, make sure you write in pencil because you're gonna erase some stuff. And you're gonna because like even though we have what is it here? It's color accuracy, skin tone, contrast, black level, shadow detail sharpness, 24p motion, overall scene brightness, daytime viewing. But you got when we get into actual scenes, it kind of like mixes. Some of the scenes are good for this, some of the scenes are good for that, and they kind of like overlap a little bit.
Mhm.
So they also asked us to have like a overall best overall and then like one for SDR, one for HDR. And the ones that did well in SDR didn't really do good in HDR, which is kind of like a thing. Another thing, or how about a theme? Another theme all throughout the day was that none of these projectors are going to do everything well. Is that right?
Well, I would say based on what I read from the article. So there's an article on their site, kind of, laying out all the stuff that happened. So here, I'll bring that up real quick.
Okay.
So that's this here. And so
well, let me toss that into the chat here.
I got it here.
You got it? Okay.
So if you guys want to check it out later, you can. Boom. All right. So 2024 projector shootout. So Brian, Phil Jones, we've had him on a couple times. We should have him on again soon.
Yeah.
We haven't talked in a while. And then the judges, let's see here. I know this guy. Yeah. Andy
Milton, yeah.
Yeah, I know Cam also.
Yep, Cam.
And this guy, what? He's in outer space.
Woo, I don't. Oh, you know what? I gave him like a picture that had like a no background. So I guess
in outer space. This guy.
They put me in outer space. Yeah.
Hey, why did they make it look like you're in that is it Holi? Is that what it's called in India? When they throw out the Holi, where they throw. How come they put that as your background?
I don't know, man. They're all racist. Kidding. They're not. They're not.
Chris Majestic.
Chris,
right? You guys have seen his reviews, projector reviews, and Chris Boylan.
Yep.
I guess he does editor at Acoustics and ISF trained. Okay, blah blah blah. So these are the pictures that you kind of just showed here. Let me see what you guys.
Yeah. They're all essentially the same. I have more, but yes, essentially the same. Oh, they're looking at laser speckle in the red there.
Okay, speckle.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, cool. And what was interesting is the way that they kind of judge things, right?
Yeah.
Or the way they set it up, because normally they'd have somebody come and calibrate each one, using meters and like professionally calibrating each one. And that the idea was, what is the max capability of this projector, right? When somebody comes in and calibrates each one. This time, what they said was they invited judges or invited a representative from every company.
Yes.
To come and calibrate it, but just using like normal stuff that somebody would have. Spears and Munsell disc. What did they say? Something for white balance, like using a phone app, for white balance.
Yeah, they didn't
light meter, like stuff.
I think the whole point is that, for a $2,000, $3,000 projector, you're not going to spend $600 to have somebody come and calibrate it. Right. That's the whole point. So they didn't want to. Last year they did the full calibration on all of them.
Yeah.
Right. This year they wanted to do something a little bit different, which is also why, they had somebody like me, Mr. TV guy, come by and be like, I don't like projectors.
Yeah.
What are we doing?
That's good. And another thing they did is they gave them a 2-hour time limit on the calibration.
Yeah.
Which is a pretty short amount of time if you think about it. Like if you wanted to do it yourself, you're probably going to spend as much time as you need. And I look at, I'm like, damn, I spent the whole night doing this.
Dude, like I would calibrate a TV. Sometimes it take like 4 hours. Sometimes it takes 6.
Yeah.
Like,
so two hours.
It'll take 2. Yeah.
2 hours is a very short amount of time to be able to do this. And they said that some manufacturers kind of just sent in numbers to enter.
Right.
And of course, the room environment and the type of screen affects these things. So it's probably best to be there to kind of do things. Except for Samsung in the review, I guess they said that it's nearby, but they, for some reason, just didn't participate as far as like sending a representative.
Right. They didn't do that. Correct.
So the decision was made by Phil Jones to just use the filmmaker mode. Because typically filmmaker means like, okay, these are the best settings, for a home user. A lot of times the problem with filmmaker mode though is kind of dim. They're not trying to make anything stand out. It's just kind of like this.
Which is why like I like this one particular, because I'm like, look, another question was if you had to get a projector for like your mom, which one would you get out of
None.
these 8?
You know
Right?
the TV.
Yeah,
That's
right.
what you get for your mom.
And of course, there are, the whole point of you could probably buy a 100-inch TV
Yeah.
for the same price as one of these USTs plus a screen. But the whole point is you can go up to 150-inch, and you can't do that with the TV, right? That's, they were saying that. And then also viewing angles on a TV that large, cheap enough, it's not going to be good, right? It's not going to be like an OLED, which is going to be like 30,000 for 98-inch.
Right? A lot of people talk about that. Like, why wouldn't you just get a huge TV? And in my situation, I've said it numerous times. I have a big window, and that's where the 100-inch projector, motorized projector, so it comes down over the windows, right, in our living room. Well, sometimes in the morning we don't want to cover the windows. We want the light to come in. You can't do that with a TV. Also,
yep,
I would imagine the box for a 100-inch TV and transporting it starts getting pretty crazy. And you've stayed at my place, right? Those stairs, there's gonna be like an angle issue. You know what I mean?
You might have to like open up the side of the house, the wall, slide that sucker in there. Like that's
might not
happening.
be good because, like, even bringing in some of the projector screens, right? So they come in a package of it's kind of rolled up, right?
Yeah.
Getting that through the door is not, and up the stairs, I can imagine a TV. So that's just something to consider, right? So a TV is easier overall to use, but maybe to set up, to actually bring it in, it's all one piece, one big screen. It's not like you can fold it. When they can fold it,
you need to have a big space for sure, right? I mean, the 83-inch OLED box was huge that, I had up in Mammoth. So I can only imagine the box for 90. Actually, I don't need to imagine it because I went and helped Brandon be the install one, and it came in a crate.
Yeah, that was not
great.
That was no joke.
Yeah, like a crate and then a box inside the crate. So
yeah,
and he and I were like moving it, and dude, it was rough, bro. It was, and we had to take it out of the box to get it in the house. So
there, just to say, right? TVs are easier once they're set up. They're superior in many ways, but when it comes to the actual setup, it's actually not that hard. Like, I've set up a motorized screen like pretty quickly. Two screws into the studs, and it can hold the screen. The motorized screen. That's it. And then ultra short throw, you just place it there.
Yeah,
nothing to mount. So anyway, out of all these, they had the Hisense PX3 Pro, Hisense PL2, 4-movie Cinema Edge. Let me bring this back up. 4-movie Cinema Edge, 4-movie Theater Premium, Epson LS800, Nexago Aurora Pro, XGIMI Aurora 2, Samsung Premiere 9 LPU9D. Okay. And then they had the SDR mode, HDR mode. So out of these, just overall, which one did you like?
I like the 4-movie Theater Premium.
That was okay.
That was the one I liked the most in SDR, and HDR things started to like fall apart.
Is it because you're a TV guy and you were looking at the black levels, and this has the highest black, the best black levels?
This had the most punchiest, vibrant colors. So black levels kind of add to that.
Okay.
I didn't specifically say, oh, this has the best black level. Although it did. When we had let's see here, which picture can I show here?
You know what's crazy though? I'm looking at sticking on that topic. It has the best black level and shadow detail in SDR mode, but in HDR mode, it's not doing very well. Right? In HDR, the Hisense PX3 Pro had better black levels, which a lot of times what I'm finding with these projectors is like comes down to calibration. Like, it comes down to the settings that they use. So I'm kind of confused. Like, if you make a projector, right, aren't you going to optimize each one of those? I don't know. Or are they optimizing for like the max lumen so that they can put on the spec sheet? 3,000 lumen.
That's the thing that you need to like. Yeah, I don't know. You know, it seems like I know that like no TV is perfect, but
Mhm.
they're talking like you really, really like even if you spend like $5 grand on a TV, it's not gonna be perfect.
Mm.
But like they're like, oh, to get like really, really good projectors, you got to start minimum 5,000. So it's just like it's just so weird, you know,
Mm.
to get something that has like here black
So,
levels. Where's the black levels? Here's a black level shot, right?
oh my goodness, hold on a second. Let's maximize that. Let's see, what can we do? Why are you always on vertical mode, bro? You're just like
Because it's
social
Instagram,
media
bro.
stuff? Okay. All right.
So some of them like
Hold on.
um
I'm seeing different red. So there's a red shift on the one on the left. This one
yeah.
looks the most neutral based on your camera, of course. So it's tough to tell because it's gonna adjust. So that one looks the most neutral. The next one next to it looks pretty neutral, not very dark. This one looks kind of like maybe the darkest.
Yeah, that's that one that I liked.
Okay.
That's that 4 movie theater,
That one
whatever.
has a bluish green shift. The next one
This
looks
one
like
over here is the Nexigo.
okay.
So that wasn't as bad.
That one.
And then
These are
this one was the most expensive one, the Samsung.
yeah. Rough.
Yeah. So there is that. Let me show you. Do you want to do here's some like blue, you know, that just like the stuff just like is the different color. Look at this. Look at this. Look
Yeah.
at this.
Okay. So one thing that people should know when we're looking at these side by sides, it's because we can look at them side by side. What ends up happening is, the first thing you'd probably want to calibrate on a projector is the white balance, right?
Yeah.
Because if you ever notice on your phone, you probably notice like a night mode, right?
Mhm.
Or some kind of mode where at night it shifts to yellow, right?
Yeah.
To take out the blue light. And at first you're like, ugh, everything just looks yellow and orangey and not good, right? But what happens after a few minutes? That your eyes kind of reset to that level and whites look white to you, right?
Yeah.
And when it switches back, everything then looks blue. So
Yeah, and what's odd is like that magenta or that red shift in that first projector isn't really there when you're looking at it.
Mhm.
It's just it's just the way the camera takes the photo.
that
Right.
so partially that I've noticed that some of the triple laser stuff, my camera
Yeah.
cannot do it. Something about my camera is just like freaked out by the like it can't auto correct. Right. So yeah, partially that. But I guess what I'm saying is our eyes do get used to
Whatever we're looking at, right? And you wouldn't notice most of these differences unless they weren't side by side. And that's what
Bose exposes here. Oh.
FOMO.
What's up, FOMO?
Well, do you guys want to know this is the PX3 here in the red shift right here. That's
what happens is I was trying to film some of the projectors because I just reviewed the Valerian, which I'll talk about in a bit, and I'm reviewing the AWOL LTV 3500 Pro. And when I was filming it with our Pocket 3, which is pretty good, it just could not film that.
Yeah.
It did not look good. I think I can show you a quick example here. But where is it? Valerian 2. So just in auto mode. Look at here. Present, share screen. Here's how it looks in Final Cut. It didn't look like this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It can correct. So you're right. Sometimes the camera can't handle the triple.
And I mean they all knew it too. They're like, oh, just take a picture of that and check it out. I'm like, what? I'm like, oh my gosh, that's ridiculous.
Yeah. Well, I think part of it might have something to do, just a guess, is a lot of these triple laser projectors, they have like really wide color gamuts. Like like almost like full rec 2020. And sometimes I don't know what our phones are capable of. You know what the color space is on this. I know that the Sony can go, like our Sony cameras can go beyond that, but it has to be in their like S-Log 3.
Mm.
And if you just put it in standard mode, it's not going to be able to capture all the colors that the projector can produce, which is kind of weird. So okay.
So this is like a color. This is what La La Land. So this is so they got the primary colors all up on screen. I believe this is HDR, right? So this is a great test for color. And they're like walking down the street singing or something. I haven't watched the movie actually. So but again, like there's that red shift, right? That the camera's picking up that you don't really see. This was the Hisense. This one was the Hisense PL2. This was the cheapest one, and it actually did pretty well in a lot of different
laser, right?
What's up?
That's a single laser. So
Single
is there kind of a pattern that you've noticed where the single laser ones look normal on camera and the triple laser ones could not be captured?
Well, this one here is a single laser 4 movie.
Okay.
And then this one here is the triple laser 4 movie that I liked.
Oh, okay, so that one doesn't have that shift though. All right.
It doesn't. So that's something just with the like Hisense. This is the LS800. That was this one here is the Nexigo. And then I forget what the hell this one was. This is the what was
Nexigo, it? There is Epson LS800.
No, this is the X Jimmy. This one here is X Jimmy, and then this one on the right is the Samsung. And you can kind of tell the Samsung has that little bit of a red shift here.
Yeah.
Compared, right? Would you just look at the road?
Yeah, I was having that exact issue when I was reviewing the Hisense L9G, which FOMO let me borrow his Blu-ray player for. Because it needed some tone mapping help. So I kept telling him, like, why does this look so like weird? Anyway,
once calibrated, PX3 is spot on, and sadly, projectors more likely need to be calibrated due to screen differences. So, FOMO, would you say if you were to get a UST or any kind of projector, regular long throw projector, would you get that calibrated more than it's more necessary to get that calibrated as opposed to a TV? What do you think, FOMO?
I think FOMO probably gets everything calibrated, knowing this guy. Because I got that Vizio off of me. He got that one calibrated. Like, who calibrates a Vizio OLED? I'm kidding.
Look at this. Is it in different mode? We all know that's accurate. Thanks, Gruff. Michael, they only chose like minimal settings because they assumed that's what the average person was going to do. So these weren't fully calibrated. They did not have the AWOL.
They also don't sell the AWOL. So to keep it clear, this is put on by projectorscreen.com, and this is a website that sells projectors
and screens
and
apparently everything else, AV receivers, speakers, whatever you want.
So I'm not saying oh they're biased. I'm just saying, speaking for myself, if I was gonna do a shootout, part of it, I'm sure it takes a lot of effort, is to promote some of the products that they have, right? And if they don't sell this product, I guess they could include it, right?
Yeah.
But
you know,
it's not independent. It's not independent. Like, this is a store that puts this together, and I still think it's useful. You know, if it was just some random guy doing it, that would be cool too. But he says so. FOMO says he'll be reviewing the PX3 next month. Yeah, man. Maybe you can come check out the AWOL 35 LTV 3500 Pro that I have. Do some comparisons or something.
This is from the Spears and Munsell disc. We started this off at 1,000 nits, went to 4,000 nits, and then 10,000 nits to see how each projector would handle it.
The tone mapping?
Yeah, the tone mapping for the HDR, yeah.
That one's
and like
funny.
Some of them, like the Samsung, look at this horse is black. like it's supposed to be brown, right? Like there.
At 10,000 nits, if it doesn't have tone mapping, it's going to look pretty obvious.
Some of them were just like, it was just white. and you just see like four horses or three horses. Yeah. Yeah. Yes, Marv. The lasers were using DLP chips. Yes.
You know what? I want to talk about something that a few people have mentioned, FOMO included. So Michael Squire says still depends on the screen you use, meaning a lot of times these companies will say, well, we don't, a lot of times somebody will calibrate a projector and say, I don't want to give you the settings because it's going to be dependent on your screen, right?
Yeah.
Your environment, blah, 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 screen size, screen material, all this. And I can say that I've reviewed various projectors, a lot of BenQ projectors, and I have, how many different screens do I have in here? 1, 2, 3, 4. How many? 5. I have a couple different 6. So I have like different projector screens, some AT screens, some no, I have 7. I have another one to live. So I have ALR screen, a CLR screen. I have matte white. What else do I have? Yeah, so I have various combinations of them. And when I test out these projectors, I can move them to different screens, and they are different environments too. And I would say the consistency is still there. Like if I use a BenQ projector that's known to be accurate, I can move it from one to the other, and it's not like, oh my gosh. Now, right on this screen, it looks great, and on this one, it looks completely off. It doesn't work that way. The projector is putting out accurate colors, and if I put it on a wall, it's still going to look pretty accurate, right? Because the colors are relative to each other, right? So if it's well calibrated, it will probably look good on most things, right? So I think that part is a little bit overblown in my opinion, right? I think that if I take a projector that doesn't have a good calibration, it's not like I'm going to put it on a certain screen and all of a sudden it's going to look great on this screen, right? When the white balance isn't right, it's still going to look not right on all the different projectors. So what that tells me is I would prefer a projector that is calibrated out of the box, right? So the BenQs, they give you a report that say, hey, we calibrated this. This is the delta E of 2 or whatever it is, and when you get them, almost everybody is saying like the colors are great out of the box, right? There's not a reviewer that's saying, oh, colors are horrible for me, but great for everybody else.
Right.
So my point being, yes, of course you want to optimize for your room. If you have all the tools, if you have a professional coming in to do it, then it makes sense for them to come in and dial it in to like delta error of 1, right? But if it's a delta error of 3 coming from the manufacturer, that's still better than the one that's delta error of 8 or 15. You know what I mean?
11.
You know what I mean? So you get these horrible delta errors, meaning that the colors are way off, white balance is way off, whatever, right? So something that's closer to 3 is going to always be better. So I just want to get that out of the way that, yeah, the screen matters, but at the same time, the thing that's a little bit confusing to me is a lot of these companies will ship stuff that is not well calibrated out of the box, and I kind of don't get it. Like, take the time to actually give a good calibration so that when you get it out to everybody, at least have one mode where it looks really good. I know that's supposed to be filmmaker mode, but it's not always that great. So, Anyway, that's my little rant. Anyway, what else? Do you want to continue on about this?
I'll say this. Oh, don't hate me, TV people. But this whole event's got me wanting to get like some sort of big screen in here.
Hey, that's a good thing though, because that tells me that you had a pretty good experience. Like something about it, you're like, oh, this is not as bad as the Polaroid projector that I reviewed.
Well,
what Polaroid there? Polaroid projectors?
Polaroid.
No.
ViewSonic? Polaroid? Which one was it? I'm sure there's still a video about it.
I don't know. You're the one who did the review of a Polaroid projector. Oh man, that image was probably so soft. Blame it on Lady
Wait, where's
Gaga.
my video? It's not on here. Techno Dad Polaroid projector.
And the other projector review I remember you doing was for the Vava, the original ultra short throw. That was like the first ultra short throw I'd ever seen at CES.
Oh yeah, the Vava. Yeah.
And I still have mine. It is so soft. The image is extremely soft. Right? It was just kind of cool. Like it was the first one that I saw that was ultra short throw.
Yeah,
and,
Vava.
And relatively affordable. And I think it was like under $3,000 or something.
I mean, I have videos about projectors, but from like trade shows like Cedia, like the Epson. But the only one where it was the Vava and that fucking Polaroid one. That thing was garbage. Such a big pain in my ass. Like, oh my
god. I think the worst was weren't they bugging you for a review?
Yeah. Yeah. And I had this 100-inch screen I had to put together by myself, like with like legs. It was just sitting on my dining table, like up against the wall, like the dining table, like butt up against the wall, and it was just there, this fucking giant screen. I was like, fuck, I need to get this thing out of here.
Oh man. Hey, you being annoyed sometimes makes me kind of happy. I don't know why. I find it a little bit entertaining when you're pissed off. Especially when it comes to you and like a piece of hardware, like trying to like you're fighting with this projector screen. It just makes me.
I'm like, why does this look like garbage, Joe? Joe, what the fuck? Like, why is this so annoying? And like, yeah.
Oh, because it is a Polaroid projector.
Yeah. DLP projectors tend to have a rainbow effect. Yes, and that is because of the like triple laser or whatever. And you can see it if you just like go like this.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, whoa, like, is this a thing? Holy crap.
And when I asked Phil Jones, like sometimes it's easier to tell if you just look at it from the corner of your eye.
Yes. Trying to get a JVC so you can review it. I mean, okay, so I did some measurements because I was like trying to figure out, I can't do a 16:9, but I can do a scope screen. And my window here is 122 inches wide. 122 inches wide. I found a screen size 133-inch scope screen. 133-inch scope screen would fit right in this little situation.
I have a prediction of what's going to happen.
You
will get this. You will get the screen. You'll find a projector to match, right? And right now, it's because you're mixing in Atmos. This is your studio, and you're like, well, I would like a nice screen, so if somebody comes over, I can show them on a big screen, and
instead of my 48-inch, 43-inch OLED here.
Yeah, I mean that's good. You can show them on that, but just like the presentation of showing on this big projector, like when you visited that guy, and he had a huge projector set up, right?
Like, yeah, all up on the wall and stuff. But
so that's the idea. But this is what's really gonna happen. This guy's gonna be like, he's probably gonna just stay there and watch movies because he has a full 9.1.6. He's gonna put it on the Arvolution. He's gonna watch on this projector and stay there, be like, just watching movies. You're just gonna be there. You're gonna watch movies because that's what it's made for.
I mean, I'm not going to. What do you mean, bro? Like, my only thing is like, I'm sure getting the screen installed is also going to be a pain in the ass, and I'm totally not going to do that. I'm totally not going to do that. I'm going to have my handyman come in here and figure out how to put some things that'll go across, like if this is the window, we're going to have two big metal pieces. Is it going to
be a motorized screen or is it going to be a fixed?
No, it's going to be fixed. Motorized is more shit hanging from the ceiling. Like it's a drop ceiling. I don't want to like get all crazy.
Motorized can be mounted on a wall also.
Then that means,
like the one that I have, it's two brackets that you put on, like these heavy duty brackets, and then you attach the motorized screen, and you can move it side to side.
I don't know. It all depends because I already have drapes here, so I might have to remove the drapes to put something like that on.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's
Yeah.
there's a lot of like if ands and buts and stuff like that.
It just
So
seems to make more sense. I've been to your studio there to have the screen come down when you want it. But if you want to get a fixed frame, it's not. They're easy. They're pretty easy to put together. And
yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about having your handyman. Like you put 2
Oh
screws
no,
up.
because if once you start drilling into this thing, there's like a bunch of metal back here
Oh, okay.
in the walls here. I don't dude, it
Okay.
was a pain in the ass just to hang one curtain
All right.
rod thing.
All
Yeah.
right.
But the other thing is like, okay, well, where's this projector gonna go? And like which one is it gonna be? And like I guess I could start reviewing projectors, but that seems like a lot of work, man. I watched your guy. What is that guy's name? That one guy with the crazy. Your guy with the projector reviews.
Oh, the hookup, that dude.
The hookup.
Oh my god,
Dude, like that is like
projector reviews.
Those things. If you guys have never seen this guy's YouTube channel, you should definitely. What is it called? The hookup.
Don says, "Yeah, those metal things are called studs." This is a question from Lace. He says, "Don't they have motorized screens that raise from the floor? I used to have one, and actually, it sounds like a good idea. But if you think about it, do you want anything on the floor?
No, I already have shit on the floor.
You know what I'm saying? Like, do you want, like, where do you want to put something that's like, I don't know, like 80 inches wide, 90 inches wide? Where do you want to put that on the floor?"
I had that when I had the Vava, right? And there were times when it was just like it was cool to like put up the screen, and I would have to switch to a different my second what do you call it? Preset because now my speakers have to shoot through a screen that isn't an AT screen.
Yeah, that was no good. They have motorized ones that are AT screens now.
Right, excuse me. And then the shitty part was just like this just on the ground, man. It's on the ground. My dog's running around on it, and like it's just
sounds
like vacuum it and to move it and then put it back into place. It's just a big pain in the ass.
In the photos, they look cool because there's nothing in front of it. But think about this. You can't put anything in front of that also. You're going to put this thing up near a wall probably, and you can't put anything in front of it. So the things that make the most sense are like Michael Squires is talking about this credenza style, where if you have an entertainment unit, you can actually put stuff in there. You can put the motorized screen on top of it, and then it kind of makes sense. But at that point, in my opinion, it's like probably going to be near a wall then. Why not have it come down instead of what's the point of having it come up? You know what I mean? Makes more sense for it to have it come down. Because if it goes up, it's actually going to be a heavier unit because they have to have these crossbars to make it come up. Versus when it comes down, it just rolls out. You know, it rolls down and uses gravity. The other one has to kind of hold itself up. So that entire unit. Remember that the Vavo one was heavy. Vivid Storm. The Vivid Storm. Can't hear you.
Oh yeah, that was really heavy, really heavy. I remember having to move that around.
I ended up breaking.
Huh?
I ended up breaking mine trying to make adjustments to it.
Oh really?
Yeah, and then so I put it in the trash can, and it broke the trash truck because they try to like compress it and they had to just leave and like it broke their truck.
There you go. You don't want that.
Yeah. Or the dogs. Okay, so you're gonna hook that up. Oh yeah, you're talking about the hookup.
Right, I put you guys should check out that channel, the hookup. Like if you want like some projector reviews, this guy does like a whole bunch.
I think his name's Rob. I'm not sure. I think I saw him on AVS and people are talking about Rob. But yeah, dude's a beast. And I totally respect what he's doing because as a content creator, I know what it takes to compare products, right? And he's taking this to a whole different level. He might be comparing like 10 different projectors, which means he has to test 10 different projectors. Yeah. And then he has
made videos like what is this best UST 2023. He's got 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. 9 of them. Damn, 40-minute video. Like,
It
that's
makes me
the kind
wanna
of
just,
long
like,
ass video I can
listen.
watch. Not like Aaron's fucking long ass video.
Makes me just want to drink water when I hear him talk. I'm like, dude, this guy is nonstop. What a beast.
Yeah, I
Anyway,
mean, I wouldn't mind checking out like some. I have plenty of companies that'll send me projectors, right? Like that's not a problem. I could check out some Epsons, check out some Sonys, some JVCs.
Mhm.
But at the end of the day, I would want one to just kind of be there.
Yeah.
Not like, I mean, like even the little lifestyle ones. Cause no lifestyle ones do scope screen and zoom and shift and all that. Not really.
I don't know. I think that new Valerian Max, they might have a model where you can do some stuff like that. From what I see in the Facebook group.
Right.
And it's tough. You know, a lot of times people will film these projectors, and they'll just kind of use whatever settings on their camera. And like you saw on your iPhone,
Yeah.
you can't do it sometimes, right?
Mm-mm.
And like if
Yeah,
you're
it's all
comparing
weird.
them, the problem is one projector might be brighter than another. So how are you gonna account for that? You know, it's just
It's
very
like
tough to film. It's tough to
I
film.
know it was very annoying. And then FOMO can talk to this as well. And that's when I was doing a lot of TV reviews, was just making sure I got the white point from the TV after I'd calibrated the TV. So I'd calibrate the damn. I would run the TV for 100 hours because it was in my studio. So I just have two of them just running. Running a custom made color slide thing that I had made, and it was just running on both of them, right? Then once that was done, I would film them independently because if they were side by side, you would have to white balance just to one of them, and they're going to be different. That's the
Mhm.
first thing. The second thing is you have the light bleed from one to the going to into the other.
Yeah.
So it like filming a side by side TV comparison and having it actually be accurately displaying what's happening in the room is just it's a complete farce. It's
Yeah.
like you're just gonna have to understand that it's not gonna be a perfect what you're seeing in the room. So like have the reason why like I stopped doing it that way and just did one TV at a time in the room, played the same. I had a reel that I created. So all this copyright free 4K non-HDR content that would just run it through, and then I would play that on one TV. I'd white bounce to that TV, get all the settings right, because I would also pick scenes where there wasn't a huge fluctuation in brightness, and then change because you had to change the ISO setting again to the scenes that had the darker ones, and then shoot that part again. It was
Yeah.
just it was a painstaking process to do it right, and it was I hated it.
I think what you're getting at, and this is what I'm noticing also, is that our eyes, our human eyes, adjust to different lighting conditions. We adjust to the white point of whatever we're looking at for a long period of time. And it seems logical to think, well, if you wanted to do a fair comparison, you would film it on the camera, right? You'd shoot and not change the settings, right? But that's actually incorrect, right?
Yeah.
Because your eyes are going to change. They will adjust for a different screen that you're looking at. So by not adjusting it, it's actually not accurate. That's not how our eyes work. Just like when I was talking about the night mode on your phone, right? If you were to film that, it's going to obviously be yellow, right? Because it is yellow. It is yellowish. But is that what your eyes see after 5 minutes? No.
No.
You can watch all kinds of videos and you never even once notice like, oh, this is so yellow. No.
I know our vision, it happens in like a curve, right? Whereas most of the cameras and everything is all linear.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to pick up a lot of things that we won't nor necessarily see or see as something bad or an imperfection because we're already used to it. We've already gone to that, we've already switched over. So
yeah. It's interesting though, because this is related to what we do with the speaker reviews, right?
Yeah.
People are like, just trust what you hear. And it's like, yeah, you have to correlate what you measure with what you also hear and see, right? Seeing is a little bit easier because we kind of expect whatever the camera sees is what we see.
Sure. Sure. And that's why, like, when you if you're reviewing a TV or a projector, it's probably way easier to do that with actual rather than music or sound. Like, we can
It's easier.
it's easier for a lot more people to agree that red is red and blue is blue instead of buttery chocolatey bottom end and angels singing in the highs, right?
Yeah.
Like,
I trust these TV reviews as far as like the shootouts when they have this is the Sony reference
DVM.
monitor. Compare it. Is that compare the reference? Okay, that's the most accurate. Done.
Yeah.
You know, with audio, there's not like, oh, listen to this reference speaker.
Listen to this pink noise. This is pink noise with reference pink noise.
There's no equivalent.
Recorded in an anechoic chamber and played through my butthole. So there you go.
So shout out again to Projector Screens for doing the shootout. I think it's a cool
Projector
idea.
Screens and Phil Jones from Mr. ProjectorReviews.com. So check out those sites. Did you pop the article? You did, right?
I figured it. Yeah.
FOMO saying he'd rather do fitness videos. That would be interesting.
Oh my goodness, I don't know about that FOMO. Maybe if FOMO's like, imagine if you just got all juiced up and just jacked all of a sudden. That's I mean,
now he's not FOMO anymore. People be like, oh no, don't mess with him.
Yeah, he'll be wearing those Instagram clothes like what is it, built
basics. It'll be all ripped.
Oh man, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
So
says test Christie or Barco project. Those would be way too huge, bro. Those would be way too huge. I think even for this, so there's a what is this called, a drop ceiling, right? There are projector mounts for these drop ceilings, but I don't even think I can get a JVC at 55 pounds. You know that
during the winter, because like when it's cold, you can just use those projectors to just like heat. You know what I mean? Just like need some heat for heat.
Oh. Dude, I actually got a heater in here, man. This shit gets cold in this place. Like, come like 9. Actually, I had it running before I started the show.
Well, you could use a heater, or you could use a Barco or Christie.
Oh, I see what you're saying, because those things get hot. I mean, those things are blindingly bright. That Christie was blindingly bright, and it's funny. Like at Cedia, I was saying this at the projector shootout too. Like, the big old room with the Christie, the big room with the Barco. So the Christie room was Storm Audio, Ascendo. The other one, the Barco, was Trinov and Perlison. And they all had Mad VRs, Lumigens. They had all this video processing stuff. You go into the like a fucking like a 35.12.8 Atmos configuration. You go into the JVC booth, they're like, it's just the JVC. Like that, like that's it. It's just the JVC, and it is 5.1.2 Gromani system setup.
Yeah.
That's it. Or is it a 7.2? I forget. I have a video about it. I have the demo. I still have to slap the video together. But
speaking of JVC and these high-end projectors, right? I recently reviewed this Valerian Pro 2.
Yeah,
a lot of people are interested in that because it's a Kickstarter project. Truthfully, I don't think that they needed to do the Kickstarter, right? I think a lot of companies my opinion, I think a lot of these companies use Kickstarter as a way to market a product.
Sure.
They're a sister company to AWOL Vision that has sold lots of projectors. So I assume that they have enough money to, produce these things without a Kickstarter. But I think it's marketing, my opinion. Anyway, they're sending a lot of projectors to reviewers, and they're all coming back like, oh my goodness, these are so awesome, right? Well, I'm one of the reviewers that they sent a Pro 2 to. And here's the issue, right? The issue is, for a lot of reviewers who review something and everything is awesome, right? Now when something comes in that's awesome and they say it's awesome, it's kind of like the boy who cried wolf, right? People don't trust it. Chana's not listening to me.
Yeah, people don't trust it. The crying wolf. People don't trust it.
So, but here's the thing: I'm not that type, right? If something sucks, then it
So
just
be
sucks.
it. It sucks.
It is. It does suck. That's the problem. Is this
What
thing
is
is
it? A
actually
vacuum? Is it a vacuum?
the problem is this thing's actually very impressive, right? Once in a while, things come out and they're actually impressive. So what do you want me to say? Do you want me to tell you it sucks? Right? What am I supposed to say when something is actually impressive? It's impressive. Telling you the truth. If it wasn't impressive, I'd say not impressive. So that's what that's what happens. This thing is surprisingly good.
Cheers.
Thank you. I have empty water bottle. But
That's my 90-calorie red wine here. Fantastic.
So it's very bright, right? Very bright,
Mhm.
has Dolby Vision, has tone mapping like the JVC, right? Dynamic tone mapping, so I don't have to run Lumagen. I don't feel the need to even run no Mad VR, right? I don't even feel the need to use my HD Fury because it just does the tone mapping. I talked about the Zedu and the Dune using the VS10 engine to convert everything to Dolby Vision.
Yeah.
I don't need to actually run that. I just needed to force it to Dolby Vision and let the projector do everything. Right. So
I was trying to do this real quick.
what's that? What do we do?
But it's your video. Put your video up here.
Yeah. That's my video.
While you're talking about it.
And then somebody said like that my thumbnail is shilling. I'm like, I think they're just joking because they've heard me talk about that. And really, I was in the garage taking this thumbnail. Usually I just make a video and then I just kind of position myself so I can see myself on the screen instead of taking photos. And Angela comes down and she's like, it's kind of silly to be taking a thumbnail, right? It just looks silly.
Oh yeah. You're all smiling and stuff.
So she said something that made me laugh, and that's a thumbnail I ended up just using.
How about that thumbnail? What's that thumbnail?
Oh, I was showing the AI. It had some AI stuff.
Yeah, you were.
I compared it to the BenQ HT4550i. I'm friends with the guys at BenQ. I think that they make awesome stuff, and I really did like that projector. Right? I like the BenQ 4550. I still do. But
you did the BVM reference thing. Was that just the file?
That's just the file. I threw the file in, and then yeah. So later, FOMO. See ya.
Bye, FOMO. Joe has never had a problem when he disagreed with a product, and that's a fact.
Yeah.
We got a super chat here from Brent Wood. What's good, Brent Wood? Thank you so much for the super chat. We appreciate it, buddy. Dude, do you have a question, or is this just he's just making it rain?
So, I'll just continue here. Thank you again, Brent. Some people are kind of saying that it kind of sounds shilly, and the truth is a lot of the people who review the projectors, not even just projectors, just review stuff, kind of have that type of vibe. All right. But it doesn't mean that the product itself is not what it is, right? Whatever I got, it is legit. If you came over, right, and I showed it to you, you'd be like, damn, pretty legit. Right? And you get what? Nothing. You get nothing for saying that. Absolutely nothing. Right? Nope. And so I saw this some guys that are kind of saying, whatever's happening with this Valerian smells a little fishy. Smells a little bit fishy.
Does it?
They experienced this with another company where stuff was getting hyped up and it didn't turn out to be what it was. And I'm like, what the heck does another company's hype have to do with a different company's hype? I mean, the job of a manufacturer when you have a new product is to try to hype it up. That's what you're supposed to do, right? SVS, I respect them. They're going to try to hype something up when they got something new.
Oh, yeah, they are.
They're going to send it out to reviewers, and the reviewers are going to say what they're going to say, right? Well, sometimes that kind of backfires. They send it out, and people are like, meh. So the hype train is kind of derailed, right? But if you send something out and everybody's like, dude, this thing is actually awesome. Well, hype train is at full speed, right? So that's how this stuff works. But I don't know. A lot of times these guys say this is fishy, blah blah blah.
This thing's on the hype train.
That's on the hype train. Yeah, because I'm shilling this out. There you go.
Whoop whoop.
Is it
15% off. Use the code BESTFRIEND2024. I mean Black BF Black
BF.
Friday 2024.
And you know what I like better than me saying that thing's awesome? Because I obviously think it's awesome because I made it. I'd rather somebody else say it. Somebody who bought it. Right?
That's like what Anthony Gramani from Gramani Systems.
Yeah. Or did you pay him off?
Oh God.
Silly. These people are silly sometimes, right? And so
he's shilling for us. He's shilling for us.
What I think happens is a lot of times these guys are dealers. All right. I'm looking straight into the camera. I'm saying like this. They're dealers and they're trying to sell JVC and Epson and whatever the heck they have, right? And maybe AWOL or Valerian is not one of the ones that they sell or can sell. They seem to be like a direct consumer type of business. I don't know. But the problem is, if you're for the consumer, then you should be happy when new technology is advancing, right? Because that means that it will come to more products, right? It's not, they don't have the exclusive on these TI chips. Everybody has them, right? It's just that they did something innovative to make it work better, to get better black levels, right? And so if you're for the consumer, you would be open to like the possibility that these things are actually awesome, right? But when people start saying bad stuff about it and never touched it, never looked at it, I don't know. I'm not a fan of that, you know?
Yeah.
I've done it.
I've done it. But
I've done it though too. Like sometimes I'll look at specs of something and I'll be like skeptical, right? So I get where they're coming from, you know, but I think there's just, you can do a lot with these. If you have a DLP that is very bright and you have the ability to tune it kind of like a EQ, but for video. You have the ability to calibrate it and make it do stuff with the laser dimming, depending on what it sees on the screen. And you have the processing power. You can do a lot to really enhance the picture. So, sorry, what were you saying?
I don't remember.
Oh.
I thought I said, what were we talking about? Things on paper. Right. Like I could look at a spec sheet. Somebody's asking about Pioneer Elite LX805 for sale. $14.99. Do you think that's a good receiver? I mean, on paper, anything can look good, right? But like, is it good in, you know, once you get it in there? That's for you to decide, right? Like I remember when I was rolling through the channel 2017, 2018, I'm just spending $600 every month on a new AV receiver in that price range. I'm like, oh, it looks good on paper. Let's see what happens once I get inside. And then all of a sudden, like, you know, ACU EQ is absolute doo-doo, you know, and then I'm like, crap. Well, at least I can help people set up their HDMI ARC or whatever the situation is. Like I got this Onkyo RZ30, and I think the RZ50 is cheaper than the RZ30 right now, and the RZ30 was just released. So I don't. On paper, it seems like you should buy the RZ50, you know. But yeah, you know, I think including, I mean, TVs are the same. I would say as well. Like just because the thing has a shit ton of brightness, high peak brightness, you know, depending on the technology, how many dimming zones, how many is this, how much is it, like it's the same thing. Like, okay, that looks cool on paper and on test patterns, it might do well, but does it do well in content, like actual content? And that's kind of like the thing that you got to figure out, right? And that's going to be different from person to person, room to room, right? So yeah, that's
why I like that guy's reviews, the hookup, because he'll do like a shootout between projectors, right? And they'll do it in a dark room environment, right? And one can just be the top dog in the dark room and be at the very bottom when it comes to bright room, right? Because they're different scenarios. So,
oh, dude, I watched one of his when he went from like a $2,000 or $200 or $500 projector all the way up to the $17,000 what is it, JVC or $15,000 JVC, and like one of them was the JVC versus the one you have, the AWOL UST. And it's like, okay, let's look at daytime viewing. Boom, the JVC gets knocked out, right?
Bye. Yeah, bye.
Everything else, the JVC kills it.
Exactly.
Right? But then daytime viewing is it's just out. So
it's just context, and I think that's something that we have to keep in mind, and something that I'm going to try to do when I'm reviewing something. Like, this is great for this particular thing, for this other thing, not so great.
Yeah.
Right. So it just depends on what you want.
Yeah.
We have a question about Brent.
Yeah, Brent Wood says stuck between two PB4000s versus two RSLs. The RSL's value seems amazing with 16 hertz extension. Michael Squires pops in and says his go down 12 hertz in his room.
Dang. And by the way, Michael Squires does calibration sort of stuff, so he knows how to measure speakers, right? So he's not just a guy. I am a fan of both companies. I feel like RSL is kind of like the underdog company, you know, smaller brand. They're both direct to consumer, but SVS has been on top for a very long time, and for good reason. They make very good stuff, right? Especially subwoofers. Like, they make very good subs, right? They have very good, customer service if something goes wrong. RSL is more like they're really giving a lot of value. All right, so I have this one that you guys are talking about, the what is it? The 12S thing is a beast. It's also huge, right? So another one to compare to is Monolith.
Yeah.
Monolith is also one of those companies where you're going to get a lot of bang for your buck. So, but between these two, look, either one you're going to have an awesome experience, right?
No.
With either one, if you set them both up and calibrated them, right, and then you swapped them and then calibrated them,
you probably
would. At one point, you'd be like, "Oh my god, I definitely would get the PB4000s." I think it's.
Dude, I had one PB4000 in a living room. That thing was huge, bro. Like, I know that I saw the RSL 12 at Joe's house. It isn't as big, so.
You sure?
As the PB4000. So if there's any kind of space constraint, then I would say go with the RSLs.
What are the specs on these, like size wise?
Unless I'm totally wrong.
No, because a lot of times, like the context of the room, you know, it's in a pretty big garage. I don't know.
Oh, these are all the sales. I don't want the subwoofer sales. Where's the 4000? PB4000.
Size. So PB. All right. So the RSL is 22.5 by 18.875. Let's just call it 22 by 19 by 23.
Oh, it's not that much bigger. This is 23 by 20 by 27. 28 almost.
Okay, so
I mean, it's definitely bigger. It's definitely bigger.
Okay, that's big. That's a big. Okay, that's a big boy.
Yeah, and you want two of those? Oh, dude, did my light just turn off? God damn it.
Yeah, man. I don't think you can't really go wrong with these because they do what they need to do, right? If it comes down to it, you know, if you are going to go with RSL, you may be able to squeeze in an extra one, purchase an extra one if you have the space, and get more even bass response, and be able to play it even louder, right? If you go with the SVS, I don't think anybody's gonna be disappointed. What else? What other starred ones you got here? He says, been looking at the SVS PB4000s, but on the SACT Discord. Oh, yeah, we've seen them on the Spatial Audio Calibration Toolkit Discord. Someone turned me onto the RSL Speedwoofer 12S. I'd buy two of either sub for $800. The RSL seems like a crazy deal. It is a crazy deal. It's a crazy deal. Yeah. And I think part of it is that you don't have the app, right? So SBS has an app to let you do stuff. This one, I think it has a remote control and a little screen on the front, which is kind of cool. Tells you what mode you're in. I, I'm happy with it. You know, I could recommend any of them, but for my style, I like to save money whenever I can. So that's just me. You have to do you.
Do you?
You have to do you. Mosin says, I have a dedicated home theater blackout room and WeMax A300 UST with 120-inch gray ALR floor rising screen. But I'm considering an upgrade. Do you recommend Valerian Vision Master Pro 2? Wife will kill me. Why'd you post it on here, Mosin? Don't say it on here. I guess I guess he should say it in case we find, man, Mosin found dead.
Why? He said why was gonna kill him.
You know what? If it's it's all depending on whether you have a room that's light controlled. Because with a room like my living room where there's sunlight coming in, ceiling lights, we have like 4 can lights in the living room, bright.
Yep.
The UST with the ceiling light rejecting screen is the best, right? Like I love it. There's no glare from the overhead lights like you'd see on a TV. Screen disappears when I don't need it, and it's bright enough to see in all those conditions. I don't know that there would be a long throw projector, maybe with an like those screens, the Fresnel screens.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it could do it, but I don't think it's suited for that. I think if you want a dark room, you said you have a blackout room, then you will want to get something like a long throw projector, and you don't need all the ALR stuff. You know what I mean? You can just use a matte white screen, right? And get the, accurate colors from the white screen. And if you need acoustic transparent, you can do that as well. And you just can benefit from the better contrast and better black levels.
Yeah. So, hey, Mosin. Here's what I figured out, bro. Distract her with some. Just buy her some shit too. Buy her some shit too. Hey, babe, I got you these new outfits, and get there was this athletic wear thing. I was at this YouTube thing, and they were trying to get these influencers to like promote their like athleisure wear, right, for Black Friday and stuff. And they were talking about all these different little technologies, and one of them was the heart-shaped booty seam. And I was just like, wait, heart-shaped booty seam? I don't know what that is, but I think I like it. And the whole room just burst out in laughter, right? I'm telling you, man, just get like a few of those things and be like, hey, honey, I got you some stuff. And then like, oh, am I gonna try it on?
I don't get it.
That's, dude, boom. She is.
I don't get the having to buy the wife anything. Forget that. No, Mosin. We're not talking about audio video. I'll tell you what to do. All right. So, is this your money? Do you work for your money? Are you a grown man or are you a child? Okay, you're a grown man. Okay, so you earned your money. Well, I don't know about you, but when I earn something, I'm able to spend it however I want, right? Now, what I think, I'm joking partially, because I think what ends up happening is some people are not responsible with their spending. And the spending affects like, oh, I can't buy groceries because I bought this projector. Oh, not good. That's when the wife has to step in like, hey, idiot. We need to buy groceries. Your other projector.
Honey, I just bought you 5 of these hot little outfits.
Yeah. And I didn't need those either. Bad idea. Right? So be responsible, right? Be responsible. And if you have extra money, spend your extra money how you want, right? If your bills are paid, then go have fun. Okay? But don't be buying unnecessary stuff. That's my recommendation. And if you're not, then your wife is probably not on you about stuff because everything's handled. She can buy the stuff she wants. You can buy the stuff you want. Everybody's happy.
Yeah.
Anyway.
What do we got?
All right. Sorry.
Best Buy. We already talked about the Best Buy thing. Donna, have you had a chance to check out the Lingdorf? No, dude. It's photo shoot time, bro. It's like You gotta give it the time it deserves for the photo shoot. So that's happening. It's RZ Onkyo RZ70 has 2 independent subwoofer outputs. I'm using Dirac Live along with Magic Beans. If I added, a total of 4 RSL subs and got a mini DSP 2x4 HD, would Dirac and Magic Beans still work with that?
Yeah,
Well, yeah.
because you're using Dirac Live, and you didn't say Dirac Live bass control, because bass control is kind of what competes with what you can do with a mini DSP. Point of the mini DSP is you can use something like multi-sub optimizer to calibrate each sub independently, right, and get the best possible sound at your seating positions. But that's what Dirac Live bass control does also. So if you have bass control and if you have the ability to hook up 4 subs, then yeah, you don't really need to do the MSO thing. But if you only have 2 sub outs, then then I think if you really wanted to optimize it, getting a mini DSP is the best way to go. Yep. Takes a little work though. Gonna take some work. What else? I think we should get out of here. Well, there were about an hour and a half.
30. I actually have to go move my car soon.
Okay.
It's on a charger.
All right.
Yeah. Buy cable risers, upgrade your power cables. Okay. I don't know. I don't know if you want to do that. Reed says he buys home theater gear. His significant other buys board games. She has 3 bookshelves full now. Oh wow.
See, look at how he looks scared though. Reed looks scared. Look at Reed.
Oh, his picture.
I didn't order that.
Another big box came for you. Yeah, I got some more speakers. Yeah.
Oh man, when I get a huge package that comes in, I'm like, who is this from? Did I order this? I don't think so.
And what was funny was even with both the Lingdorf and the Onkyo, they're like, okay, we'll send you a tracking. I'm like, okay, great. No tracking. All of a sudden, the Lingdorf just shows up. I'm like, okay, great, thanks. Like, I took a picture and sent it. Hey, it arrived. But it's very surprising when that happens. I just like to know what's coming and who's sending it. That's all. Yeah.
Right.
Teeth chattering. Reed, you're hilarious. All right, everybody. If you guys want to hang out in the after show, make sure you go to crew.dailyhifi.com and join up to be part of the after show, which is what we're about to go head into in just a minute. What is this? Oh, yeah. Check out Reed's channel.
I got to subscribe. Huh?
Oh, Joe just subscribed live subscribe. Check that out, Reed.
There he is.
Yeah.
I'll post the link up.
Yep. If you want to support the channel by buying some merch, buy some merch at shop.dailyhifi.com. And if you don't want to look at our ugly mugs and want to listen to
speak for yourself.
The podcast, if you don't want to look at these handsome gentlemen,
you got rizzed up right now.
Yeah. If you don't want to get rizzed up by watching us, go to anchor.fm/dailyhifi on your and then listen to the audio version of the podcast. And that is it on behalf of myself, Mr. Joe and Tell, Mr. Aaron's Audio Corner, who's I don't know where Aaron is this time. I think he's traveling the world. We'll see.
Mm-hmm.
You guys have a great night, and we will see you next week. If you are watching on the replay, make sure you tune in 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern, and be part of the show, ask some questions, and have a good old time. We'll see you guys next week.
See you guys.
Bye-bye. Oh, dude.